Hey, what's up, Sour Patch Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Today, I want to answer the age-long question no other PokeTuber, no content creator, no man, no woman, no any identifying factor whatsoever has been able to answer. Which Pokemon TCG set in Sword and Shield, English side, is the worst? Which one just absolutely sucks ass? Which one's just garbage? Which one doesn't deserve to stay on the island? Which one doesn't get a rose? Which one doesn't get a clock, a giant clock from Flavor Flav? I don't even know if that's what he gave out. I can't fucking remember. Anyway, which set just sucks ass the most? A lot of people like different cards. A lot of people like different sets. People collect all different kinds of stuff. But one of the things that people typically argue about is which TCG set, especially in Sword and Shield, just absolutely blows chunks the worst because a lot of people don't like certain ones. I put the 5 up that I thought were just absolutely abhorrent compared to what people were saying. I don't really think that about any of these sets. I think there's something redeemable about all of them personally. However, some of them do have some glaring flaws. We're going to go over this today. We're going to see if we can get to the bottom of it, solve the mystery, if we will, and let's see if you can figure out which set is the worst in this Real Talk.
Real Talk.
Alright, let's get into this stuff right here. So I put this survey up in 2 different places. I put it up on Instagram and I put it up on YouTube. I wanted to see if there was any kind of major discrepancies in the audiences. Maybe some people would like different stuff on Instagram versus YouTube. Not really the case. The outcome didn't change, but the actual secondary and third opinions on which one was the worst changed a whole hell of a lot. So let's go over the YouTube one real quick. First of all, 926 votes. Oh my god, thank you. Holy shit. I didn't think anybody would really vote that much for it. I thought I'd maybe get like 50 people that said something about it. That's a lot. But out of those 926 voters, we had 46% say that one set was just the worst. So I put 5 up there. I put Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, Champion's Path, Battle Styles, and Pokemon Go. These are all sets that people in the Pokemon TCG community have had major complaints about. Fusion Strike just barely missed this. It barely missed it because there's a lot of people that do not like that set. But I think some of those special arts have definitely saved it, and those alternate arts have saved that set from just going into oblivion, being sucked down into Hades. So of those 926 voters, a whopping 46% of y'all said Rebel Clash was the worst set. And I'm not really too sure I was expecting anything different. But I mean, that's a lot of that's like, out of 926, like 46%, that's like 410-ish votes. I'm losing my mind with how crazy this is. That's 410-ish votes. That is insane for how many people do not like Rebel Clash. So I was thinking, why do people not like Rebel Clash so much? Because this was actually the top voted one on Instagram as well, spoiler alert. But what about that set do people not like? It actually has a decent amount of cards in my personal opinion. I actually like the set. Let's see what's actually in it. So you got your Rainbow starters, and then you have a few Rainbow Galar Pokemon that were in there. So you had Dragapult, Toxtricity, Capraja, and then you had Malamar in that set, as well as your VMAX starters, which were Rillaboom, Cinderace, and then Inteleon. Your trainers in that set, I believe, were Oleana, Boss's Orders, which is an incredible card, Sonya, which is now a pretty valuable card, all things considered, and then Milo. With 2 gold Pokemon floating around there, you had Gold Frostmoth and Gold Berserker. Now, both of those are actually Galar Pokemon. They're not really people's fan favorites. Nobody's out there buying Frostmoth plushies, except probably me. I like Frostmoth. Ice type is my favorite type of Pokemon, by the way. I know it sucks competitively. I know it has so many weaknesses. Fuck you. I like it. I like Ice types. Leave me the fuck alone. Glaceon's good. Another argument, another time. We'll get to that. But Rebel Clash, man, but it doesn't have a lot of value, and I think that was kind of the big stuff. Like, of all these dope cards, there's a lot of cards that don't really have any kind of value whatsoever. I think Sonya and Boss's Orders have a little bit of value. Boss's Orders sitting around like maybe 40-50 bucks. Sonya's sitting at maybe like 30 to 25. So nothing really too crazy on that. The gold cards are like 10 to 15 bucks. Nothing of high value there, but it has a lot of playable cards. It had Scoop Up Net. It had the actual Boss's Orders, the first print run of it, which that was game changing, by the way. Dragapult used to be a stellar deck. Inteleon used to be a stellar deck. People used to play the shit out of these right there. It was a good deck for a little bit. Sonya, I think, even saw a little bit of play, as well as the waifu collectability. Sonya's a babe, by the way, but people do not like this set. The main thing about it is it has no valuable cards, and people say you're just wasting your money opening that up, because even if you do get a hit, who fucking cares? You're getting Capraja, which no one even likes. Capraja, apparently. I think he's fine. You know, Chairman Rose and his main Pokemon, I think it's cool with me. The second and third and fourth all kind of have the same amount of votes. There were 16 and 16% for Darkness Ablaze and Champion's Path. Darkness Ablaze suffers from jumbled up set syndrome, where it doesn't really have anything that makes a whole lot of sense. There was Charizard and there was Grimmsnarl, and they were thrown in this set in English, Darkness Ablaze, but in Japanese they were actual deck promos. You can get these nice deluxe super cool deck promo boxes that actually had them in there, as well as them throwing a couple other deck promos. You might see a couple of them behind me chilling. I think they're over here. You can actually see like little decks. There was like a Slowbro V P, and I believe another Pokemon from those actual sets was put in there. The other ones were thrown into Champion's Path like haphazardly, like some of the ones like I think like Venusaur and Lucario, a couple of those were from those decks as well. Just, it's a bunch of mix match shit that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything. It's like a set that like literally has no coherence to it because they just threw a bunch of stuff together, and it shows. Say what you will about Rebel Clash, man. Champion's Path, this is my least favorite set personally. This is just me. I think Champion's Path sucks. There's only 2 Charizard cards in there that are worth anything if that's what you're looking for. Your chances of pulling them are astronomically low, and I'm a Gardevoir boy. I love me some Gardevoir. Guardy Simp all the way, and that's a set that it's in, but it gets treated just like such shit in there. Trying to get that money, pump that cash, do what they can in order to get that set going. Like when people were opening this in 2020, that's all it was. You just saw people hunting Charizard, hunting Charizard, hunting Charizard. There's other cards in the set, my guy, and there's some pretty good ones too, but nobody really gave a fuck. There's a beautiful Cursula full art in there. Who gives a shit? Charizards exist. And then Battle Styles and Pokemon Go. Battle Styles was actually the one I thought was going to win because of how much people are talking about it, but then you remember there's special arts, there's alternative arts, there's some pretty decent full art trainers. Some of the cards in there have a little bit of value. It's going to be one of those sets I personally think people are going to be looking back at. And man, Rebel Clash. I like Rebel Clash a good little bit. I guess his people are like, fuck it, Rebel Clash can go to the fucking birds. Not really too much changed. Rebel Clash is still #1 on actual Instagram over here. But what's weird is the Instagram crowd literally almost put Champion's Path. At one point, Champion's Path and Rebel Clash were sitting about neck and neck with each other at a 35 and 33%. Each of them had about like 80 to 70 votes each. And it just, I don't know. I guess people on there just don't like the Charizard as much. People don't like that set as much either because the hollow pull rate was just kind of high. You could get the Machamps, you could get the Scraggies or the Scrafties, and then like like you were pulling Marnies out of that box all damn day. Marnie's extremely playable, but people didn't like that one a whole lot. Darkness Ablaze was actually sitting at the lowest percent. People typically like that set a little bit more on the Instagram community. Rebel Clash, they no mercy for that, but there was definitely some playable people that were enjoying that. And the whole reason I did this was to show that all these sets have different things that people are interested in, but we're mainly dominated currently in a market where money is driving everything. Money is just the way to go with all that stuff, and Rebel Clash has nothing to offer the investors, which is our majority right now. Our investors are running this hobby, and the collectors and the players that think Rebel Clash was actually a treasure, nothing to it. They're just like, fuck it. We like Champion's Path because we can get some big old money out of that. And I don't know, just kind of weird. Kind of goes to show you the way our hobby's sitting. Thought this experiment was kind of cool. Might do this with some other sets too. Just wanted to show you guys how that went out and like how people are going. Thank you anybody that voted. Thank you anybody that actually participated in the surveys. I appreciate the hell out of it. You guys make this channel go around. You made this content happen. I appreciate it. I've been enjoying talking about cards a little bit more. Rebel Clash, man, give it a chance. There's some good ass cards in there. Scoop up while they're cheap. There's a beautiful Ninetales card in there, by the way, Rebel Clash, and y'all are just sitting on it, you Gen 1ers, and you claiming you like stuff, but Ninetales is right there. There's a good Milotic in there too. See you later, virgins.